What's up, everybody? This is Gene coming to you with a product unboxing. This is our first, the Canon XA50. So basically what we're going to do today is we're going to unbox this, see what all comes in the box. This is some extra gear that came in the kit. We'll see if it's useful to us once we get it open and get to use it for a bit. It also came with the bag. We ordered it through Amazon, but it's available pretty much everywhere. And Amazon was the only one that actually had it available. It was back ordered everywhere. B&H, Adorama, you name it, back order. So we went with Amazon for lack of options, but the price was pretty even across the board. Even with this, this was pretty much just a throw-in for us. So we'll get this unboxed. We'll see what's all in the box, and we'll talk a little bit about the capabilities of the camera. And this will be the first entry in the XA50 series of videos. Once we get some use out of it and make a few good videos with it, we'll come back on and speak to you and let you know what we feel about it, what features we like, which features we wish it did have that it doesn't. And then we'll do a third video to kind of wrap it all up and give you a total of our experience so far. Over the next 6 to 8 months, we'll be doing that. All right. So here we go. The Canon XA50. Now, this is marketed as a professional camcorder. How professional you need to be? Debatable. I'm not a professional, but I'm going to use it. All right. So let's get all the packaging out. All right. So on here we have the top layer. Get this up here. So here we have the top layer of the box. It's your battery. It's a pretty decent sized battery. We also got an extended extra battery with the kit that we picked up. I'm not sure what this is, so we'll find out in a second. It's got a remote, which is actually pretty cool because you can set it up on the tripod, and then once it's set up on the tripod, you can just start and stop your videos, from where you're sitting. So that's helpful because usually I'm getting up and down and stopping the video, starting the video, all that stuff. We have the standard issue wall charger. I'm assuming this plugs into the body of the camera with the battery attached, as opposed to a Nikon where you kind of cradle it on the charger. And this is the power supply for that. Looks like some fastening pins. I guess we'll find out what exactly that is for. We have battery for what I'm assuming is for the remote. And these are for the power cable. All right, that's everything there. This is it. Oh, there she is. Alright, and that's the body of the camera. Now this camera is a fixed lens camcorder, which means you can't swap out lenses. However, you can use filters, which we have a few of here. We have gradient filters, we have some ND filters, and different things that you can attach to it, but this lens itself is fixed. If I remember correctly, it has a 15 plus zoom in 4K and 30 plus zoom in 1080p. It's a pretty nice size camera. It's not very heavy. It's actually fairly light. SD card bay. This takes dual SD cards. So as one fills, it'll back up to the other one, which is a really good feature if you're out and about and you don't want to toggle through cards. We picked up, well, a 64 gig came with the kit. We picked up two 128 gig cards. So it should get us a fair amount of video before we need to worry about that. But if in the event we do run out of space, boom, kicks right into the spare card. Just checking this thing out here. All right, so it looks like the battery compartment is here. Battery snaps into here, so it's pretty accessible. No lids or anything to take off. There's a record button here, but I know on the handle there's also a record button where you can start and stop if you're kind of running gun with it, holding it overhand. And we'll get some close-ups of that stuff. So this is the DC port. This is where you're going to charge. So that's pretty accessible as well. And it also has a wired remote port there. Battery goes here. Record button. Zoom toggle. Focus switch. SD card. I'm not sure what this is, so we'll look this up and see exactly what this switch is for, but it looks like it may be a power switch for the camera. This is actually what feels like a 4-way toggle switch, where you can, I guess, go through the menus on the screen here. The screen itself is about a 3-inch screen, if I'm not mistaken. Menu button. Has an infrared mode where you can shoot in pitch darkness. You get the night vision view. So you can pretty much shoot in complete darkness with this camera. Looks like a return button and a battery info button. From what I've read, there's a lot of in-menu buttons, not a lot of hard buttons for a lot of the functions that are on this camera. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think I particularly care, but once I get into really using it, it could be an issue. I don't know. We'll see. And then I have a button here that's a turn button here. Guess I'll have to read on that and see what that one's about. We'll pop the lens off. That's pretty. So it's a pretty nice lens for this camera. And it comes with a cap, so that's good. Hopefully we won't lose it. All right, so that's the body of the camera. Let's see what else is in the box. Got another plastic tray here. And this is the grip handle. Looks like it has 2 screws to hold it to the body, so it's nice and secure. You don't have to worry about dropping it. 2 phantom powered XLR ports here, which is priceless for great audio. The record switch, so if you don't want to hold it the standard camcorder fashion, you can hold it by the handle and actually press this to start recording. Also has zoom toggle on it, so you don't have to use the button under the handle once this is attached. Also has independent volume for each XLR. This is really well made. All these switches to control the inputs here. Volume, whether you want a line mic or use the phantom power, which input you want to use. Even has a lid to protect those controls, which is really nice. This, if I'm not mistaken, is a really nice plastic. Yeah, it's not metal, but it's a really nice, hard, sturdy plastic. Also has the hot shoe and cold shoe on top here. We'll just attach this. And once you attach that, I wouldn't recommend using power tools for this because you don't want to overdo it and damage the thread inside. Just so long as it's catching what they call finger tight. You don't want to go too crazy with it. All right. Now, once this is attached, you got a whole different and however you want to hold it, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm left-handed, as you can see, so the right hand might not work for me. I might not be comfortable with the usual, but everything is ergonomically correct. If you're holding it this way, record buttons right here, which is pretty basic on most camcorders, and if you're holding it this way, which is perfect for left-hand thumb placement, but it works for both hands. You have to zoom on this side, record on this side, so whatever your dominant hand is, it still should be pretty easy to use. Also, 3 built-in ND filters on this camera, which is super helpful if you're in a high light or outdoor, really sunny day. That's helpful to have. This is the microphone clip, which you can also attach to the handle here. If you have a shotgun mic or a condenser mic that's has a good wind filter on it, you can attach it to this, clamp it down so it doesn't go anywhere, and you got on-the-go sound, not just the stock sound. So I'll do that too for the next video. I'll see whether the onboard sound is that much worse than using a smaller shotgun mic or something to that effect to get better sound. But usually if you have sound going through an XLR, you're going to get a much better, warmer sound for your videos. So I'm not sure how this attaches, even though I've seen the pictures of this thing about 16,000 times. You know what? I'm not going to bother with that right now. That's probably what those 2 pins are for. Got it. Anyway, we don't really need this on right now. So that's the top layer of the box. I'll set all this here. And I think that's it. That's everything in the box. All right, that's the complete unboxing. This is the whole package. I'm not good at guessing weights when you hold it, but again, not super heavy, not the lightest thing in the world. Definitely heavier than a DSLR or something to that effect, but not an uncomfortable weight to carry if you were outdoor filming or vlogging for an extended period of time. This looks like 2 1/4-inch microphone, actually 1 microphone input for a 1/4-inch jack and 1 headphone to monitor your audio, 1/4-inch headphone jack, 1/8-inch mic jack and headphone jack. You also have your HDMI output, which is mini HDMI, so if you wanted to monitor from afar, you could run it to a TV or a computer monitor that has the HDMI. And you also have a micro USB here, I guess for transfer of videos from the camera to a computer or whatever machine you're working on at the time. I'm happy with it before even turning it on, but we will see. It has a 5-axis image stabilization as well. So if you have shaky hands or you're in a situation where you're walking and moving a lot, it does take it down a notch from what I've seen. I have not used it myself, so I couldn't give you an accurate assessment on how well that works. But next video we'll have a lot of that information for you. Can't wait to see how it looks in 4K once we get it rolling. Or is this the oh, it's a it's that thing. Okay, I get it. So this is a lens guard, or the sun, what's it called? All right. This is the optional but very helpful lens hood. If you're packing this up and you're going to be stuffing it in and out of a bag, you could use the regular lens cap and forego slapping this bad boy on. But you know, I think it's helpful. Let's see if we can attach that. Simple click. The cool thing about it is it has a visor of sorts. So when you're done using it, keep the lens clean, dust free, slam that bad boy shut. That's pretty neat. I always saw that laying down, but I thought it was just designed like that because it has the same texture and pattern on it as the rest of it. But that's actually a garage door. Not bad, not bad. And this is secure. There's a button here on the back to release that if you want to take it off, so it's not very cumbersome or something you need to pull out the tools to attach or take off, so that's really cool. With this on, you don't need this obviously, so you keep it in your camera bag, you know, with the rest of your gear, just so it's close by if you decide to pop that off. You always want to have something to cover the lens, because once the lens is scratched, it's pretty much over. It's not too much you can do with that. You can get the lens replaced, but you know, the cost of that is probably going to be pretty decent. But all things we will find out on our journey, or hopefully not find out. But that's pretty much it. That's the unboxing. Like I said, we'll be using this pretty heavily between all our channels. We hope you join us for the follow-up video on this. Again, it's going to be a series of 3 videos. We're going to document our use of this camera. If you're in the market for a camera, this averages, we've seen anywhere from $2,000 to $2,200. It's a pretty hefty price, but in this segment, which is the professional camcorder segment, it's about average. There's a few cameras that are a little lower priced. Even for Canon, there are lower series that are cheaper. But read up, do your research. The biggest difference between this and the cameras that are underneath it are the size of the image sensor. This camera has a 1-inch image sensor, and that's good for catching great images, or getting great images when there's minimal light in the environment that you're shooting in. So the 1-inch image sensor is what you want to look for. A lot of the other cameras, the XA11, XA50, XA30, they all have the 1 and 2.3 image sensor, which is considerably smaller than this one. So we'll see what we can do with this. Thank you for joining us. If you have any comments, if you've used this camera and you want to give us some tips or your feedback on this camera, I'm sure many people want to know about it. There's tons of reviews on the Canon products, not a ton on the XA50 specifically. It's fairly new, the XA50 and XA55. So yeah, we'd love to hear from anybody that has this camera, and just let us know what your experience with it is, and we'll reciprocate with our next video. We will talk to you soon.